Hello everyone, good evening and a very warm welcome from here at the Fatima grounds. We are once again gathered in readiness for another match of the Dad's Premier League. This match will see the Jbcn Golden Stallions go face to face against the Svkm Blazing Strikers. The news out there from the centre is that the Blazing Strikers have won the toss and they have elected to bat first. Cricket under the floodlights is always a different sort of emotion. Playing under the lights, playing with such a cracking atmosphere, gives you the literal impression of being in the spotlight and having the time of your life. So we have the bowler taking his guard. We have both the openers in readiness. We have umpires taking stock of the situation to see whether everyone is in their positions and ready. A little bit of final words here from the umpire. Once again, to bring to your attention, it is the Svkm Blazing Strikers who won the toss and they've elected to bat first. We have the Jbcn Golden Stallions going against Svkm Blazing Strikers in this match of Season 5 of the Dad's Premier League. The openers are Dhiren and Pankit. Dhiren will be taking strike. And for the Stallions, it is Prakash who will be kick-starting proceedings with the ball. As we know, the first 6 overs are always the power play where the field restrictions will be on and only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. And for this particular over, the field is a fielder deep at third man and at deep cover. So here we are, the first ball. That's a good start by Prakash. Unfortunately, the keeper wasn't able to gather it at the first attempt, and the Blazing Strikers get off the mark. It is given as a bye, but Prakash will be very happy with the swing that he got on offer here. Late movement, was well away from the batsman, but he will be fancying his chances after seeing that late movement that has been on offer here. So Pankit this time will be taking strike for the first time in this contest. Here comes Prakash. Again that late movement bamboozling the batsman. Pankit was going for the big shot to swing for the hills there. Unable to connect. Here. There it is. That late movement. That is good bowling. The ball keeping a bit low on that occasion. Here is Prakash once again. Oh, that's a good ball. That is a good ball. Keeping it much more straighter. Little bit of an overthrow there, but nothing doing. No damage to the scoreboard. This time a little bit straighter. Squared the batsman up there. Eventually did manage to get bat on that. So this is a good disciplined start here from Prakash. Here he comes once again. Once again, hits it straight at the bowler. Here is Prakash once again to Pankit. He's looking for the big shot here, but he's not able to get the timing nor the connection that he's looking for. But this is a very disciplined start here from Prakash. He's picked the line. He stayed with that line. He's not giving the batsman pace to play with. And that has resulted in 4. Here is Prakash once again. Again, swings and misses. So this has been a very good start first up from Prakash. Very close to the edge. It's the end of the first over. And the Blazing Strikers won for no wicket. Very disciplined start this from Prakash with the ball. With the swing that he's got on offer, he's bowled a very good line and length. And that has kept the batsman quiet in this first over of the power play. 1 for no loss after the first over, the Blazing Strikers. Kunal to kickstart the second over. Dhiren on strike. And Dhiren gets off the mark with a single. Kunal right arm bowling over the wicket. Pankit to take strike. Will be facing Kunal for the first time. Again swings and misses. Pankit is looking to swing for the hills, but he's not able to get the connection or bat on ball at this moment. As you can see, that little bit of late movement doing him in once again. What will Pankit's game plan be here? He connects, and Pankit gets off the mark with a single. He did finally get bat on ball, but not the result that he was looking for. However, he will be happy to get off the mark, because that is at the end of the day what a batsman wants, to get off the mark, to have one run against his name on the board. Gives him a bit of confidence to carry his innings forward. And this time it is Dhiren who is looking to give the charge. They eventually get across for a bye. So this is a little bit of an eventful over here. We've seen Pankit give the charge, and now we've seen Dhiren as well use his feet and give the charge to the bowler. However, they do scamper across for a bye. And meanwhile, they've taken the Aryan route, bisects the fielders, and that is the first boundary of this game. That is a good shot from Pankit. Finally, here he comes. Look at that replay here. In the slot, finally gets the connection that he was looking for. Beats those two fielders comfortably. And that goes to the boundary for the first 4 for the Blazing Strikers. Kunal to continue the last ball of this over. Pankit again trying to swing for the hills, but this time doesn't get any connection. So it is the end of the second over. The Blazing Strikers 8 for no wicket. Two overs down, 8 for no loss, the Blazing Strikers. As far as the dimensions of the ground are concerned, we're playing at the center pitch. So it is going to be equidistant, the boundaries that will be there. Both those boundaries on the offside and on the leg side are of equal distance. So it will be very interesting to see what will Dhiren's approach be here. Here is Dhiren on strike. Oh, that's a huge appeal. And that is given. So the Golden Stallions strike. They draw first blood. Dhiren has to depart. He was caught right in front of those wickets. And the umpire did not hesitate to raise his dreaded finger. And Dhiren has to walk back to the pavilion. The Blazing Strikers 8 for 1 wicket. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that delivery once again. On the line of the stumps and caught right in front. That was dead plumb. And he knew the moment he was struck on the pads that he was a goner. So that disciplined bowling has paid off. Prakash strikes, gets his first wicket. And that is a result of some brilliant bowling that he bowled in the first over. And he has reaped the benefits of that. He's yet to concede a run off the bat. As we know, the first run that he conceded in the first over was a leg by. Nirmit is the new batsman who's walked out to the middle. Nirmit taking his time, setting his gloves, gathering his thoughts as he prepares to take strike for the first time. Here comes Prakash steaming in. Nirmit to face. Oh, that's a good delivery. Very, very good follow-up delivery after the wicket. Bowls it nice and full. That little bit of movement takes it away from the hitting arc of the batsman. Here is Nirmit once again, bowling to facing Prakash. He strays down the pads a little bit. And they will scamper across for another leg by. This ball a little outside and still manages to cramp the batsman for room there. So Pankit finds his way back to the strike. And Pankit will be looking to press the accelerator a little bit here. The score is going at a little bit of a trickle. And with Pankit already finding a boundary in that previous over, here comes Prakash. And there it is! Beautiful shot over the bowler's head. Bisects the mid-off and mid-on and races away to the boundary. So Pankit gets his second boundary here. He's looking good. And he will look to continue in the same vein. Unfortunately, a little too full this time from Prakash. Gets it right in the slot. And Pankit needs no second invitation to swing his arms. That was akin to a golf swing. And that goes to the boundary for 4. And that's an edge. And that will also find its way to the boundary. So back-to-back boundaries here for the Blazing Strikers. And back-to-back boundaries for Pankit as well. He's stolen a march. He's on the go. As far as the ball is concerned, he did square Pankit all ends up. But in the end, as they say, fortune favors the brave. And Pankit, with his aggressive approach, has benefited. And now, taking stock of the situation, Prakash is altering his field a bit. He is making sure that there is no margin for error this time, just in case he gets the edge. Oh, this time it's the edge, but it goes to the other side. And that is 3 boundaries in a row for Pankit. And they have now stolen a march. Prakash will consider himself very, very unlucky here. That was the perfect delivery, the perfect setup. 9 times out of 10, you would see that ball clatter onto the stumps. But this was the 10th instance. And on this instance, that ball has raced away to the boundary. So 3 boundaries in a row for Pankit. And that is the end of the 3rd over. So a flurry of boundaries to end this over. The Blazing Strikers now 21 for 1. Pankit is on 17 of 12, whereas Nirmit is yet to open his account. Meanwhile, Kunal to continue from the other end. And this time it is Nirmit who is the batsman on strike. We are halfway through to the power play, and that previous over has given the innings of the Blazing Strikers a little bit of an impetus. And they will look to carry forward that impetus and that momentum that they have generated for the rest of the overs in the power play, as well as the rest of the innings with the bat. Here is Nirmit. Nirmit also will be looking to get off the mark. Kunal comes in. That is another genuine edge, but that could be two. But they settle for a single, so Nirmit gets off the mark. He's on the board as far as the runs are concerned. And that brings Pankit on strike. He is the man with the momentum currently, and he will be looking to carry that momentum and give his side even a little bit more of a push. They are going at a decent clip after those 3 boundaries. Here comes Kunal to Pankit, and another swing and a miss. Pankit, rather disappointed that he missed out on that. That was there to be hit. As you can see, right in the slot. He was looking to free his arms and go for that slog sweep. Was not able to get anywhere near it. He knew the moment he missed it that he was unlucky to not get a hold of that. Kunal continues. Gets bat on ball this time, but there is a fielder there at the deep at long off. So just a single. So that's 3 balls off this over. Just the 2 singles conceded. And Nirmit to face. Nirmit taking his guard well outside the crease. Probably to compensate for that late movement. Because he's standing a good 2 feet outside his crease. Here is Kunal to Nirmit. Oh, that's a good delivery from Kunal. Slowed down his pace just a little bit, letting the pitch do its work and beating Nirmit there. As you can see there, slowed down. The pitch is a little bit on the slower side there, and Nirmit was genuinely beaten there. Here go. In the air. Once again to the fielder at long on, so only a single. 3 singles of 5 balls in this over so far. Kunal will hope that he does not concede a boundary, because starting the over is well and good. You need to finish the over well, and that is equally important. And Kunal will have that in the back of his mind as he bowls this final ball to Pankit. And he once again, there is a fielder there. So 4 singles in this over. We are 4 overs into the contest, and the Blazing Strikers are 25 for 1. Four overs in, 25 for 1, and the Golden Stallions seem to be taking their own sweet time in setting the field for this over. And if you look at it a little bit deeper, you could probably think that these are some sort of mind games to unsettle the batsmen, because let's keep in mind, Pankit is the batsman on strike, and Pankit so far has proven to be the danger man. in this batting innings so far. He's the one who's scoring the boundaries. He's the one who's looking for those big shots. And by taking the time to set their field, the Stallions here are probably playing at Punkit's impatience. They could sense, they believe that this could be the gateway to getting his wicket. It'll be very interesting to see what Punkit's approach will be. He has been patient. He's been waiting. He has been biding his time as well. And as you can see, Punkit taking his guard and composing himself, as now he is the one who's making Prakash wait. So this is an interesting passage of play despite a single ball not being bowled. Talk about mind games at its finest. Talk about mind games at its peak. The field is still being set. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. No deliveries bowled, no words spoken, but the feelings and the emotions and the plans very clear for everyone to see. And finally, Punkit to take strike, Prakash to bowl. We have action, and that is the edge finds that deep fielder at third man. So the two fielders in the deep for this over currently and for Punkit were a deep point and the third man. Punkit gets his single and moves on to the non-strikers end. He is on 20 of 16. Nirmit taking strike as he is currently on 2. Prakash bowling to Nirmit. Here we go. Nice defensive shot and played nicely for a single. So that once again brings Punkit on strike. Prakash to Punkit. Punkit against Prakash. Oh, that was so close once again. Prakash must be wondering what needs to be done to get Punkit's wicket, because this is the third time that he's induced an edge. And the second time that that ball has gone agonizingly close to the stumps but not hit them. So bit of a cat and mouse here between Punkit and Prakash. That's taken. Oh! That is beaten the fielder. And that goes to the boundary. Talk about adding salt in the wounds, and that will surely do that for Prakash. But Punkit gets 4 more runs, and 4 more runs are added to the total for the Blazing Strikers, who are now on 31 for 1 and 2 balls to go in the 5th over. Induces another edge. It was enough to get between the gap of the full fielders. So Punkit to continue to take strike. And here comes Prakash. That's another good looking shot. This time off the middle of the bat. That ball is racing to the boundary, and that is once again back-to-back boundaries. So Punkit stealing a march on Prakash here. He is winning the battle between the two. Punkit, as you know, short-ish delivery. Punkit picks it well in advance and gets enough timing and enough placement on that to find that square, the mid-wicket boundary. So once again, towards the end of the over, Prakash conceding boundaries in a heap. However, he finishes the over with the dot ball. So we're 5 overs in. The Blazing Strikers are 35 for 1. This was a little bit away from the hitting arc. Misses it completely. So 5 overs done. 35 for 1. The last over of the power play. I think both the batsmen know that they will want to take full advantage of this one. They will be looking to get another couple of boundaries in this over as well, just to make sure that they end the power play as the side that are marginally in front. They did lose a wicket early in the first over, but after that it has been a good rebuild job with Punkit shouldering the burden of responsibility and doing the bulk of the scoring. And once again, as you can see, the Golden Stallions taking their time to set the field. A little bit of a conference going on there between the keeper and a couple of players. Looking at what can be done to avoid maximum damage in this final over of the power play. Here's reminding you that it is the Blazing Strikers who won the toss and they've elected to bat first. In the first 5 overs, the Golden Stallions have taken a wicket, with Dhiren, the batsman, who was dismissed. And since then, it has been Punkit who's been constantly scoring the runs for his side. He's currently on 28 of 20. And there is a bowling change. The responsibility of bowling the last over of this power play falls into the hands of Gaurav. It will be Nirmit who will be on strike facing. The field is yet to be set. Still discussions going. And now the umpires taking stock of the situation. I think the umpire rightly having a word with the wicketkeeper and the bowling side to get things up and running, because this is the second over that there has been a long break and we've still not had a ball bowled. And that is good work from the umpires. They are fair, but they are firm as well. And they understand that the game has to be completed within a certain amount of time. And lulls in the game like this will not be accepted. So after another couple of minutes of sweet nothings, we are finally ready for some cricket action here. Nirmit to face Gaurav. It is the final over of the power play. As Nirmit readying himself to face Gaurav. Here is Gaurav to Nirmit. That's been given as a wide. Oh, was that a wide? Oh no, that isn't a wide. I think it did clip something off the batsman on the way to the keeper. So that is a dot ball. And Nirmit standing well outside his crease here. Hits it across the leg side for a single. So the first ball has been turned around and it's given a wide. So a little bit of a miscommunication there, but in the end, the right decision made by the umpire. So the first ball was a wide, and then next ball being taken for a single. So meanwhile, Punkit facing Gaurav here now. And he picks it up nicely. But there is a fielder there at long on. So Punkit will have to eventually settle for a single. Here is Gaurav bowling to Nirmit. Huge appeal there, but the umpire says nothing doing. Clearly pitching outside leg stump there. And that is exactly what the umpire is saying. It is pitching outside leg. A leg bye has been given. And that looked to be pitching well outside leg stump. So eventually, a huge appeal for nothing. Nevertheless, it has still been a good disciplined over so far from Gaurav as he bowls to Pankit. Oh, that is another good delivery. Gaurav once again gets his body in the way and the umpire signal it as another leg bye. So wide and 4 singles in the 4 balls that Gaurav has bowled. So it has been a disciplined over so far, no boundaries given, and that would please the Golden Stallions, as that is exactly what they were looking for in this final over of the power play, that they should not concede any boundaries. And they've done that so far. However, they will want to continue that as there are still 2 balls left in this over. Here is Gaurav bowling to Nirmit. That's another good ball. The angle taking it away from the right-hander, and he was unable to reach that one, and the keeper gathers it rather comfortably. So the last ball before the end of the power play. Gaurav to bowl to Nirmit. Here we go. Nirmit gets bat on ball, but will have to settle for a single. So the power play is done and dusted. We're 6 overs in, and the Blazing Strikers are 41 for 1. And we have a bowling change here with Rahul coming into the attack. And he will be bowling to Nirmit, who's currently struggling a little bit here. 5 runs of 10 deliveries. Nirmit will want to take a little bit of an attacking approach here. Probably a couple of boundaries would help his cause, as he will definitely look to increase his scoring rate, while also consolidating his side's position in the match. So here is Rahul to Nirmit. Oh, that's another good ball. That's a good ball there. Luring the batsman to reach the ball by keeping it wide. So that is a good ploy. Rahul to Nirmit once again. This time it's a little close to the batsman, but he's hit it straight to the fielder, so no run. So this is a good, nice, positive start from Rahul. 2 dot balls in a row. This is exactly what the Golden Stallions will be looking to bowl. To bowl dot balls in clusters, put the pressure, and coax the batsman into a mistake. That is another good ball here. Not allowing Nirmit to get anywhere close to the ball. This was a very good ball around that line of 4th stump. Forcing Nirmit to play. That ball was not, it was not the line or the length to cut. And Nirmit has now faced 3 dot deliveries in a row. Surely something has to give here. Will Nirmit go for the big shot? Another dot ball. The pressure building up. This time it is the extra bounce that does for him. That same line, same length, a little late movement along with an extra bounce. And that is exactly what Nirmit is telling to Pankit, that ball rose up a bit. So here is Rahul bowling to Nirmit. That's a good ball and equally well played. Will get a single. That ball was keeping low and Nirmit did very well to get bat on that. And that will finally bring Pankit on strike. He's been watching the action from the non-striker's end for a while now. So he will be looking to have a say in this contest after a brief period away from the strike. Here is Rahul bowling to Pankit. And Pankit swings and misses as well. So this is an end of an excellent over here from Rahul. Just a single conceded. And at the end of 7 overs, the Svkm Blazing Strikers are currently at the consolidation stage with 42 for 1 after 7. Five dot balls and a single. It was an excellent first over from Rahul to begin with. And Gaurav is the bowler that has been brought back into the attack after his first over going for just 4. So that was 2 back-to-back good overs here for the Golden Stallions, and they've not conceded any boundaries. So that is another plus point in their favour. They've kept the scoring rate down. They've not allowed the batsmen to get away with any shots. And here is Gaurav looking to continue that good work as he bowls to Nirmit. Oh, that is gone! The off stump goes for a walk. And the pressure that was being put by the Golden Stallions has paid off. They get their second wicket. Nirmit's struggles comes to an end. And the Blazing Strikers are 42 for 2. An excellent delivery first up. Let's have a look at that once again. Bowls it in line, hits the pads and then goes crashing onto that off stump. And what a sight. That is the bowler's favourite sight. The stump being taken off the ground. And that was a brilliant, brilliant ball. And those 2 overs of constant pressure have finally told. And the Blazing Strikers lose their second, 42 for 2. The new batsman making his way out in the middle is Umang. Right-handed batsman Umang taking guard. This is the best possible start that Gaurav could have had, and he will definitely bowl the remainder of this over with a spring in his step. And as he comes in here, Umang to face his first ball, and that is another good ball and another huge appeal, but the ball is pitching outside leg and Umang will eventually come across for a couple of runs. Those are off the bat, so there was bat involved, which meant that the appeal was for nothing, and Umang gets off the mark with 2 runs. Clipped it off the leg side, the fielder at deep fine gathers. And here is Gaurav bowling to Umang. That was well wide, and oh, that would have been gone at what had been a direct hit. There was a very, very risky single there, but it's been given as a wide, and there is an extra run to boot. Punkit immediately set off for that single. Here, as you can see, Umang was ball watching, and the moment he turns back, Punkit is already halfway through, so he had to agree to his partner's call. But had that ball hit the stumps, Umang was a goner. He'd be lucky to see the ball go away from the stumps. And there is Punkit, swings and misses, dot ball. So it is now 16 balls since the Blazing Strikers have hit a boundary. They will need a boundary quick, and they will need a boundary fast. Oh, an inside edge, but this time there is protection there in the deep. So Punkit so far has definitely been living charm life. He's had 3 inside edges that on another day could have easily crashed onto his stumps, but none of them have, and he still is out there in the middle. There, as you can see, is beaten all ends up, and that was fun. That was a very close shave. Punkit, you lucky boy. Gaurav bowling to Umang here. Here is Gaurav bowling to Umang. Oh, and another wicket! And another instance of the stumps going for a walk. This is brilliant bowling from Gaurav. His second wicket in the over. And now the Blazing Strikers are in a spot of bother. They lose their third wicket. That is brilliant. That is another excellent piece of bowling from Gaurav, who is looking like $1 million at this point. Excellent use of the Yorker here. As you can see, that is full, that is straight, and that is gone. Timber. It's going down. Gaurav's getting timber. 2 wickets in this over. The Blazing Strikers now 47 for 3. And Viraj is the new batsman who is currently making his way out to the middle. The Blazing Strikers had a confident but a sedate start to the power play, conceding only just a wicket. But now 2 wickets in this over have pegged them back rather considerably. And now it will be time for them to take stock of the situation and rebuild the innings, because they do find themselves in a little bit of a sticky situation here. So the onus will now be on Viraj and on Punkit to rebuild this innings back. Meanwhile, here is Gaurav. Oh, that is very close. Very, very close indeed. And that is the end of another excellent over for Gaurav. Beats the batsman, and mind you, that was close to the stumps. So the end of 8 overs. We are 8 overs gone. And the Blazing Strikers are 47 for the loss of 3 wickets. Punkit is on strike and Rahul to continue. Punkit has been on the non-strikers end all this while. He is watched the carnage unfurl on his side as he's seen 2 quick wickets fall. What can he do about it now? Oh, that's another good ball. So the Golden Stallions are slowly and steadily putting tremendous pressure on the Blazing Strikers. It has now been 4 overs without a boundary. That is a very, very long time in T20 cricket to be going without a boundary for the batting side. That is definitely going to play a part in the minds of the batsmen. And that is exactly what the Stallions' game plan was. Do not give the boundaries to the batting side rather easily, and the pressure will eventually build and they will get the wickets, and they have reaped the dividends rather richly of that approach. And here is Rahul to continue. Pankit on strike. Takes the aerial route here, does Pankit? But there is protection there at the deep. So just a single. Here is Rahul to Pankit. That is well wide of the tram line, and that is rightfully given as a wide. So that scoreboard ticks along by another one. The Blazing Strikers 49 for 3, having won the toss and batting first. Here is Rahul bowling to Viraj. That is another wide, this time on the leg side, straying down the leg side, overcompensating, I might say it a little. So the 50 comes up for the Blazing Strikers with that wide. It's come in the 9th over, and they've lost 3 wickets in the process as well. However, they will be looking to consolidate this innings and make sure that they do not lose another wicket for the next 3 or 4 overs as they set about rebuilding the platform for their side once again. So here is Rahul. That is another wide. So that's 3 wides in a row. Rahul getting his bearings wrong here, not finding his range as compared to the previous over, where it was rather evident that it was his accuracy that was on display. He's lost his bearings a bit here. That's a much better delivery. And they eventually scamper for a leg by. Oh, that was close. A direct hit would have been very interesting. However, the batsmen eventually make their ground, so no harm, no foul. So Pankit on strike. Picks the aerial route. Once again, it's a classic case of swing and a miss. Pressure can do crazy things to you. The lack of the boundaries is clearly having an impact on both the batsmen here. They will be definitely itching to get a big shot here. And there it is, in the air and in the gap and safe. But just a single once again. So despite the 3 wides that have been bowled, only 6 runs have been conceded in this over. So once again, this is another very good over for the Golden Stallions. And that is probably going to be 5 straight overs or 4 straight overs that they haven't conceded a boundary. So this is excellent bowling in tandem from the bowling attack of the Golden Stallions. That is another wide as I speak. While he's not conceded any boundaries, he's given away 4 extras, 4 wides in this over. And that is equivalent to a boundary if we look at it from a neutral perspective. And that is in the air. That is high in the air. And that is taken by the keeper. So the pressure tells Punk, and that is another wicket there. Wicket number 4 goes down for the Blazing Strikers. Rahul gets his wicket. As you can see, gets nowhere near the face, gets a leaning edge, and that goes high in the air. And keeper says it's mine and makes absolutely no mistake. So that is the 4th wicket down. And it's Umang who has to walk back. Viraj, I beg your pardon, it was Viraj. So it's the 4th wicket gone. 54 for 4. Siddharth is the new batsman who has walked into the middle. But now it is time for a drink. So we are back after the drinks break. And the Golden Stallions will definitely be the happier of the two sides after 9 overs. 54 for 4, the Blazing Strikers, and in deep trouble. It is Pankit who's still on strike, who holds the glue that is currently holding this batting innings together as Gaurav continues. That's a good ball. They will scamper across for a bye. So Gaurav bowled an excellent over previously. 55 for 4 here, the Blazing Strikers. They will need to find a way to get the runs quick and fast because this innings currently is going nowhere. They're ticking along, they're rotating the strike, but it is the boundaries that they need, and they know it as well. Oh, that's a beautiful ball, full, right under the batsman. Not very difficult to put them away. And this is another dot ball, and another ball where there's no boundary conceded. Excellent bowling this from Gaurav, who's used the Yorker to perfection as of now. So here is Gaurav bowling to Siddharth. Oh, that's another good ball. But they do get across single, so Siddharth gets off the mark. This is top class bowling from Gaurav. He's kept it full. He's kept it. Oh, that was another good ball. That kept low as well. So eventually, that was well done by Siddharth to get some bat on it, or else he would have been in a little bit of a bother had he not got bat on that. Here is Gaurav bowling to Pankit, and that is wide. That should be given as a wide, and it is given as a wide. That was way wide off the mark. So Gaurav will have to bowl that one again. Here is Gaurav. Gets bat on ball there, Pankit, and they scamper across. They will eventually make it for a single. So another single added on, but still no boundary in sight for the Blazing Strikers. Here comes Gaurav, bowling to Siddharth. Lets that go. Under the watchful eyes of the keeper. Another goodish length there from Gaurav. He lets that go. Watches it go by. The Siddharth. Another dot ball and another excellent over so far from Gaurav, who's been brilliant. He's into his third over, has conceded just 12 runs and has taken 2 wickets as well. So here is Gaurav bowling the last ball of his third over. Oh, that's very well bowled and equally well played. So we're halfway through. So 10 overs gone. The Blazing Strikers are 58 for 4. So we're 10 overs into the first innings of this contest between the Jbcn Golden Stallions versus the Svkm Blazing Strikers in Season 5 of the Dad's Premier League. The Blazing Strikers are on 58 for 4 after 10, after deciding to bat first. And so far it has been an excellent defensive, disciplined and professional bowling performance from the Golden Stallions as Rahul continues. He will be bowling his third over. And it will be Pankit who will be on strike I think this is the half that they will need to score boundaries in heaps, because they did not get a boundary for 5 overs now, and that is going to add to the pressure. It's close, but wide enough for the umpire to raise his arms. So the score moves on by another 1. Singles and doubles aren't going to do the job for the Blazing Strikers here now. They know it, and they know it very well, that it is boundaries that will take them to a score of respectability. As Rahul continues, Pankit once again swings and misses. And it is very, very evident that the pressure is well and truly taking its toll now. The boundaries have literally dried up in the case of the Blazing Strikers. They're just not able to find the boundaries for them. They are seeing fielders everywhere. It seems like there are 20 fielders for them. They just can't buy a boundary. Here is Rahul to Pankit, and another dot ball. This is brilliant bowling, equally brilliant bowling, but this is definitely adding to the pressure for the batting side here. Pankit currently at a runner ball 33. Here he is. Again swings and misses. An appeal for LBW, but nothing doing. Continues to bowl dots after dots. This is an impressive bowling performance here. Very, very difficult indeed, because it has been an excellent bowling performance here so far. Here is Rahul bowling to Pankit once again, and Pankit trying something funky, but the result's still the same. It's another dot ball. So after the wide, it has been 4 dot balls in a row. Something has to give here for the Blazing Strikers. And another, and this time he's gone. Walks too far ahead in search of that big shot. He's well outside his crease, and that is great awareness by the keeper to pick the ball and quickly charge towards the stumps and dislodge the bails. And that is half the side gone for the Blazing Strikers. It is Pankit who has to depart for 33. The Blazing Strikers 59 for 5. As you can see here, the keeper standing up as well, picks the ball, sees Pankit well outside his crease, and gently walks past and dislodges the bails. So another wicket falls down, and the Blazing Strikers batting innings continues to be in disarray. 59 for 5. The moment Pankit turns, he's already seeing his stumps being disturbed. Rahul, the new batsman, now on strike. They are half their side back into the pavilion. And this is troubled times for the Blazing Strikers, but the Golden Stallions will be absolutely cock-a-hoop. They will be having their tails up on the field as well, because this has been an excellent bowling performance after being put in to bowl first. They will be mighty pleased with their bowling efforts so far, but the job is still not done. Still 9 overs to go after this one, and anything can happen. So they will need to press their advantage and keep their good work on. As Rahul to bowl the last ball of his over. And it is a dot ball, so an excellent over, another one. Just a single and a wicket in this over. He's beaten the new batsman, all ends up there. Too close to cut. The end of 11 overs. It is 59 for 5, the Blazing Strikers. The Blazing Strikers have just not been able to build their innings properly. They've lost wickets at regular intervals, yes. But apart from that, they've not been able to keep the scoreboard ticking enough. They've not found the boundaries. And that is inevitably added to the pressure, ball after ball, over after over. And those wickets that have fallen are a direct consequence of not being able to find the boundary as a release shot and get the pressure off them. So this has been a recurring theme of the Blazing Strikers batting innings. No consolidation at any point and frequent fall of wickets, not allowing them to build their innings the way that they wanted to. And it is Sachin who is introduced into the attack. And it is Siddharth who will be on strike. And that's a huge appeal. Not out, says the umpire. Huge confident appeal, this from the bowling side. That probably might... The impact here is at question. Probably outside the line. Sachin to continue to Siddharth. And that is dropped. Looked to be a rather straightforward chance there. I think it came a little quicker than the fielder at square leg expected it to. As you can see here, it did come rather quickly. And no sooner, and yeah, that was a case of the ball coming a little quickly, so he was not in position to take the catch. And that's a good shot, that. Has he found the gap? No, he hasn't. Will settle for a single. So Rahul gets off the mark. That would have been the 6th wicket had he held on to that chance. But they're still in a pretty good position are the Golden Stallions. So they will not mind that. He's hit that fine, but not enough power. So they will once again get a single. So 3 singles conceded of 4 balls for Sachin in his first over. And like I said, the Stallions will not mind giving away the singles here. They are in a position of strength. They are the team who are on the up at this point in the ascendancy. And the singles will definitely not hurt their cause. Here is Rahul. And he's taken the aerial route. And he's still not found the boundary. So just again, it is only a single. So Rahul has made his intent clear. He's hit 2 attacking strokes. And even though he's not found the boundary, he's looking to make a difference. He's looking to add a little bit of variety to a batting that has so far been stagnant. Here comes Sachin. And Siddharth. He's picked that one. And finally, there is a boundary. That has been a rare sight for the Blazing Strikers. And they finally get a boundary after 7 long overs. 12 overs in. 67 for 5, the Blazing Strikers. As you can see, a little bit towards the legs. He's picked that one nicely, has Siddharth. Goes over the fielder there, and with no protection at the deep at fine leg, that finds the boundary. A first boundary for the Blazing Strikers after 7 overs here. 7 overs is a really, really long time. 42 balls since that last boundary. And they will hope that this boundary will eventually open the floodgates for a continuous push here. It is a start. It is nothing. It is but a drop in what could be a potential ocean for the Blazing Strikers. And it is Rahul who is on strike here. Rahul's come phase 2 deliveries and has played positive strokes on both of them. What will Rahul's approach in this particular over be? That's a good shot. There is protection at the deep, and that is a midfield. They will come back for 2 with that misfield. So Rahul to continue his bowling spell. It was a good looking shot. He did play that well. He timed that well. There was protection in the deep. And a little bit of a hesitation and a little bit of a misfield there ensures that Rahul comes back for a couple of runs. And he's picked the aerial route, and that is a beautiful strike. Fantastic shot. So Rahul has been positive since the moment he's come out to bat, and that is another boundary. That is a good looking shot from Rahul. Here it is. It was there to be hit. He picks it up beautifully over the fielder there at cover, and with no protection there at the deep, that is easy pickings for 4. So that is another good shot from Rahul, who's moved on to 8 of 4. 8 of 5, I beg your pardon. And it's 6 runs of this over. So it is a good start for the Blazing Strikers in this over. Can they capitalize and make this into the over that they need? A big over for, say, 13, 14 runs. Here's Rahul. Facing Rahul. Oh, that's a good shot once again. Beautifully played. Back-to-back boundaries. So Rahul has stolen a march and now he is turning on the heat. That was another beautiful shot. Elegance and expertly picked that gap. Let's have a look at that shot once again. Beautifully played. Played it very late and played it with soft hands. And beautifully picks that gap between the two fielders, and that raced away to the boundary. The outfield has been quick. And Rahul has been looking really in good touch since he's come out to bat. And maybe, just maybe, this is the over that the Blazing Strikers were looking for to give their innings a much needed lift off. Rahul bowling to Rahul. And that's another good looking stroke, and that is another boundary. This time on the leg side. That's 3 boundaries in a row. Rahul turning on the heat, and Rahul leading this charge with the fight back for the Blazing Strikers here. Easy pickings. All he had to do was get some bat on that, and that ball trickles away to the fine leg boundary for 4. So 14 runs of the over. This was the big over that the Blazing Strikers were looking for. And they have got it. Can they get a couple of more here? Oh, was trying to be cheeky once again. And that is a dot ball. Here he was looking to play that cut shot once again. Playing it late. But this time the ball did bounce just a wee bit. Here is Rahul, facing Rahul. Ends the over with a single, so it's an expensive over here. 15 runs coming off it. The Blazing Strikers, after 13 overs, are 82 for 5. Gaurav comes back to bowl out and bowl his final over. Rahul, who's been looking in excellent touches on strike. That's a good shot. But there is protection at the deep. There is sweeper cover. So just a single. So Gaurav has been excellent with his bowling so far. He's into his 4th over. He's given away just 13 runs and has taken 2 wickets as well. So it's been a very, very disciplined performance from Gaurav. and he will look to ensure that he finishes his bowling spell in the same manner. Meanwhile, Siddharth will be facing Gaurav. Here comes Gaurav to Siddharth, and that's a good ball. And the appeal, and that is given. This is Gaurav's third wicket that looked plumb, and it was the right decision. So just when it felt like the Blazing Strikers were building a little bit of momentum, they are once again pegged back as they lose their 6th wicket. As you can see, once again Gaurav using the Yorker. It was full and it was right in front of the stumps. The umpire had no hesitation in raising his finger. So the Blazing Strikers lose their 6th, and they are currently at 83 for 6, with Siddharth, the batsman, to be dismissed. Here comes Gaurav, and the new batsman backs off at the last minute. Vishal, the new batsman on strike, backs off at just the last minute. So Gaurav will have to go back and rinse and repeat. Always a little bit annoying, but this time probably does not feel that much because he's already had a wicket in the previous ball. Here's Gaurav once again. Vishal ready this time. Gets off the mark. So now the thought process in the minds of the Blazing Strikers will obviously be what will be a score that they believe that gives them a realistic chance of defending that total. Is it 140? Is it 150? Somewhere around those lines. I think the thought process will definitely be going on in the minds of the batsmen. And with Rahul looking in good touch, and if Rahul continues playing the same way that he does for probably the next 2 to 3 overs, they will definitely have a realistic chance of reaching that. However, it all depends on Rahul as he faces Gaurav. That's another big appeal, but this time the ball looked to be pitching outside leg. They will eventually scamper across for that leg bye, but Gaurav has been phenomenal. Spare a thought here for Gaurav. He has been excellent with the ball. He's bowled really, really well. He's used that Yorker to devastating effect, having gotten all his 3 wickets off Yorkers, off full deliveries. He's mixed up his lengths, he's mixed up his variations rather nicely, and he's got the ball to do the talking for him. And he has been one of the principal reasons why the Golden Stallions are still in the driver's seat in this contest. Here he comes once again with Vishal on strike. He's flicked that rather nicely, but there is a fielder there, and they will get just a single. That was a good shot there from Vishal. Picked it up rather nicely, but the fine leg fielder at the deep was situated finer for exactly the same purpose. So it is good field placement there from the captain of the Golden Stallions to ensure that the ball does not run away to the boundary for 4, and the batsman had to settle there for a single. So this is Rahul facing Gaurav in what will be the last ball of his bowling spell. The sensible call here will obviously be for Rahul to play Gaurav out, given that he will not be bowling after this. Let's have a look what the game plan here will be. Oh, that was a swing and a miss. So eventually Gaurav finishes his bowling spell with an excellent... conceded 15 runs and taken 3 wickets. Excellent bowling. There's another full end delivery, another Yorker across the right-handers. So it's 14 overs gone. The Blazing Strikers 86 for 6. Kunal comes back into the bowling attack for his third over, giving away 10 runs without a wicket, but he's bowled disciplined lines and lengths as well. It is Vishal, the batsman, who was on strike. The last 6 overs for the innings, the Blazing Strikers. That is a good start to the third over for Kunal. Nice bounce, nice carry to the keeper. Was looking to cut that. Was Vishal. And here is Kunal as he continues. That's a little wide, straying down his length, so the umpire calls that a wide. Here is Kunal. Bowling to Vishal. Oh, once again, this ball once again was too close to cut. So it's another excellent delivery this from Kunal. And I think this is the right thing to do. Rahul walking to his partner, exchanging a few words with him, telling him, buddy, calm down. We still have a way to go in this contest. The worst thing that we need now is to lose a wicket. And here is Kunal. And once again, this is sensible cricket here. Can they come back for 2? No, they don't. They settle for a single. And that brings Rahul on strike. So Rahul, currently the batsman who is well set, who is looking in good touch as well, is currently batting on 18 of 12. I think the fortunes of the Blazing Strikers will definitely be resting on the shoulders of Rahul. And so far, he's looked up to the task of carrying his side to a respectable total. But can he continue? Can he go on? Here it is. Kunal to Rahul. Kunal bowling really well once again, picking that line and length to perfection. And Rahul also looking for that late cut again, but not getting any bat on that. Kunal to continue. Rahul to face. And that's a good looking shot. It is in the air. No man's land. Will have to settle for a single. He got the elevation but did not get any sort of timing on that, did Rahul. Was lucky that the ball landed in between the fielders. Will eventually just settle for a single. So Rahul living a little bit dangerously. Vishal on strike. Kunal to bowl. Bowled 5 balls and has given away just 3 runs. Make that 4 runs of the over. So 15 overs gone. The Blazing Strikers are 90 for 6. We are into the final 5 overs for the Blazing Strikers batting innings, and it is Prakash who's been brought back into the attack after his early burst in the power play. 3 overs, 1 for 22. He will be bowling out with this over. So here is Blazing Strikers. Vishal to face Prakash. This good ball. I think the Stallions bowlers have finally figured out that bowling full and bowling right under the batsman's hitting arc is the way to go, because it's not giving them any opportunity to pick their spots. Here is Prakash to Vishal once again. Another good delivery here, and another dot ball. That's 2 dot balls in a row. I think the Blazing Strikers will definitely have to get at least anywhere between 50 to 55 runs in this final 5 overs to come as close as they can to that 150 mark. That's been given as a wide. He will have to bowl that one again. Here is Prakash bowling to Vishal again. Glances it off his pads. They're looking for 2, but they will eventually have to settle for 1. So this is a very, very disciplined over here from Prakash. 3 balls in, just 2 runs conceded. Here he comes bowling to Rahul. Rahul picks it nicely, but once again, all he gets is a single. That brings Vishal on strike. Prakash, here he is. That's taken the leaning edge, but there's no fielder, lands safely. They're coming back for 2, and they come back rather comfortably for 2. It's good running between the wickets there between Vishal and Rahul. Saw that the ball was travelling slowly to that fielder in the deep. Decided to put a little bit of pressure and probably test the arm of the fielder, make it rather comfortably in the end. So here is Prakash with the final ball of his spell, and he is gone. That is timber. Vishal has to depart. That was a brilliant delivery once again from Prakash. Another Yorker and another wicket here. Look at this delivery here. Full, fast, straight, and the leg stump this time cartwheels out of the ground. That is the 7th wicket to fall. It's the end of 16 overs. The Blazing Strikers, 95 for 7. Overs gone. The Svkm Blazing Strikers struggling at 95 for 7, And it is Prashant who is the new bowler who's brought into the bowling attack. And Rahul, the last recognized batsman there, who is definitely the key to a respectable total for the Blazing Strikers. Can Rahul turn things around here? Oh, that's a very good ball to start first thing. Very, very good ball this. Bowls it at good length. Rising it a bit. Beats Rahul, all ends up. That's a dot ball. First up. The Blazing Strikers can really not afford to play any more dot balls here. Their overs running out. And that's nicely played. But just for a single, because there is a fielder there at third man inside the circle. So good field placement overall by the skipper of the Golden Stallions. (96 for 7), the Blazing Strikers currently. Prashant to continue. Nicely played. They will definitely be looking for 2. And they get 2. And with that couple of runs, the new batsman Hiren gets off the mark. Prashant to continue. Looks at the umpire, but nothing doing. Not a wide. Just inside the tram line. That is counted as a legal delivery. So another dot ball here. Prashant bowling to Hiren. Plays it nicely for a single. Oh, a little bit of a collision between the batsman and the keeper. Both of them all right. So Rahul is on strike. He's on 21 of 17. Prashant to bowl to him. Has he picked the gap? He's hit it deep enough to get 2 runs there. So with that couple of runs, it is the 100 up for the Svkm Blazing Strikers. At the end of 17 overs, the Blazing Strikers are 101 for 7. Sachin bowling to Hiren. It's been sent back there. As you can see, Sachin, nice ball first up. Was too close to the bowler and the single was definitely not on there. So Sachin continuing to bowl his second over with Hiren on strike. Oh, again, the keeper also smartly standing a little up And we've seen how that has worked in the fielding side's favour with Punkit's wicket. Was solely down to the fact that the keeper was standing up to capitalise on that. So here is Sachin bowling to Hiren once again. Still not able to get off strike. That's 3 dot balls in a row. Good bowling this from Sachin. The score is still stuck at 101 for 7. Hiren will definitely want to give Rahul the bulk of the strike in these last 15 deliveries. That's a good looking shot, and that finds the boundary, and that is 4. It's a good shot from Hiren. Picked that ball nice and early. Beats that fielder in the closing position there. He picks it up rather nicely. Beats that fielder at short cover. And that finds its way to the boundary for 4. No fielder out there in the deep. So all he had to do was beat that fielder in the circle. And that he did with ease. Here is Sachin. And this time he goes towards the leg side. They are looking to come back for 2, and he's gone. That is a run out. That is a very, very good throw from the fielder at the deep. Right in the midst of the keeper, who makes no mistakes in dislodging the bails, and the batsman well short of his ground. As you can see, he hit it. He hit it deep enough to capitalize, but that was a good release, a good throw from the fielder almost instantaneously. And look at that, right in the hands of the keeper, who makes no mistake. And Hiren has to depart. So 106 for 8 now, the Svkm Blazing Strikers. And the new batsman has made his way to the middle, and he is marking his guard. The new batsman is Davindra. And that's another good ball, a play and a miss there from the batsman, letting it go. And that is the end of the 18th over, and the Blazing Strikers 106 for 8. 2 overs to go. I think it is pretty evident now that Rahul will be the batsman to take majority of the strike, will play as many of the 12 balls as possible. He will be looking to make sure that he maximizes each and every delivery that he faces. Get that score to at least 130, 135. That means that his bowlers will have something to play, something to bowl at. It is Sachin. No, it is. I think we're waiting for confirmation for who the new bowler will be to bowl the penultimate over of this first innings. It's a good looking shot from Rahul. Has he pierced the gap? No. And that is only a single. So Prashant, to continue, gives only a single away in his first ball. So 11 balls more to go. And now it is Davindra, the new batsman, who is on strike. And all he has to do right now is give the strike to his partner on the other end. Just get off strike if he can. And that is exactly what he does. Or does he? Yes, he does. makes his ground just in the nick of time. The throw could have been a little better, but they scamper across, and Davindra has done his job of getting to the non-striker's end and giving Rahul the strike. 10 balls remain. What can Rahul conjure up? Here is Rahul. It's a good ball. Swing and a miss. No run there. Another dot ball. Excellent bowling this from Prashant. Here comes Prashant bowling to Rahul, who will be desperate for a big shot here. And he takes the aerial route. And that is 6. That is a brilliant shot from Rahul. That was high and handsome. Picked his spot beautifully. We knew that a big shot was around the corner. We knew that Rahul was the one who would be the onus of taking and hitting that big shot. And he picks his spot beautifully here. Shot wide, the perfect length. Takes the aerial route. And he finds that boundary with ease. So he gets that much needed 6. He moves on to 30. The Blazing Strikers now 114 for 8. He tries it once again. It's a dot ball, is it? They will eventually take the overthrow and scamper across for a single. So 115 for 8, and the keeper raises his arms up in apology. Shouldn't have taken that throw. That is also a wide. So that's another extra run added to the tally. Oh, swing and a miss. An appeal for a run out. And yes, it is given, and it is out. Is it? No, it isn't. Not out, says the umpire. But it is a dot ball. Let's have a look at the replay here. Davindra gives the charge. Misses it completely, but makes his ground just in the nick of time. This is a free hit for Davindra because this is the last ball of the 19th over. Should probably swing for the hills. And he swings, but he misses. And that is the 9th wicket to fall. Prashant gets his wicket. It is the end of the 19th over. The Blazing Strikers 116 for 9. Let's have a look at this. It was straight. It was full. He was looking to swing anyways. And does not connect at all, and his off stump goes for a walk. So the last over left, and believe it or not, probably the right outcome. As I said, it was a free hit for Davindra. It brings Rahul on strike for the last over. I think Rahul needs to play the entirety of the last over, play all the 6 deliveries and get his team as close as he can to that 130 mark. 116 for 9, the score after 19 overs. And the last man, Ashish. Adish, I beg your pardon. Adish, the last man for the Blazing Strikers, comes out into the middle. He will be on the non-strikers end though. It is Rahul who is on strike, and it is Kunal who will be bowling the final over of the first innings. How many runs can Rahul get off this over? Here is Kunal bowling to Rahul. It's a good ball first up. Yorker length. Very, very good start to the final over this from Kunal. He knows that Rahul will definitely be looking to take full advantage of this. And here's Kunal once again. And that's another good ball. Gets Rahul off strike. Only a single. So 117 now the total for the Blazing Strikers. But Adish is the batsman on strike. So good start to the over for Kunal, a dot ball and a single. And he gets the last man, Adish, on strike here. And nicely played by Adish, and he gets off strike. Gives Rahul the strike once again. So that is smart cricket from Adish. He knows that Rahul is the man that can take them to that total of 130 or close to that 130 mark. And promptly taps and runs. Here is Kunal continuing to bowl to Rahul. Swing and a miss. 2 more balls to go. 118 for 9. Rahul on strike. How many runs can Rahul get of these final 2 deliveries? Can he get a big shot in these 2 deliveries? Can he get a boundary? We will find out soon enough. No, all he gets is a single. So it is Adish who will face the final ball of this innings. And once again, like I said, it is going to be a free hit for Adish, because if he hits it and it connects, he'll get a boundary. But if he misses, it is still a free swing for Adish. Let's see what Adish does. Does he go for the safe option? Does he go for the big swing? He goes for the big swing, but nothing doing. And it is a dot ball, so it is the end of 20 overs. It is the end of the batting innings for the Svkm Blazing Strikers. And they finish with a score of 119 for 9. They won the toss. They decided to bat first. Their innings never really got going. They lost wickets at regular intervals. And they were unable to find boundaries on a consistent basis. But overall, it has been a very, very good bowling performance by the Jbcn Golden Stallions. They did not allow the batsmen to settle. They did not give the boundaries. They did not give easy runs. And as a result, the total to chase for the Golden Stallions when we come back for the run chase is 120. We will go back for a break and we will bring you the run chase on the other side. 1, and we are back for the run chase. It is the Jbcn Golden Stallions who will be batting now, and the target in front of them is 120 runs required of 120 balls, with the required run rate at a run a ball 6 runs per over. The openers Sachin and Rajkumar. Sachin will be the one to take strike, and Hiren will be the one to open proceedings for the Blazing Strikers with the ball. "120 runs needed to win. Sachin all in readiness to face Hiren for the first ball of the second innings. And here comes Hiren. A little bit on the wider side, but nothing doing, says the umpire. So that's a good start with the ball. Let's have a look at this delivery just under the tram line. So that is a legal delivery. Hiren to continue. Hiren to continue to Sachin. And this time, that will be definitely given as a wide. That is a little too wide, and the ball has surprisingly kept low as well. So, something to look forward for the batsman while taking stock of the situation at hand. Meanwhile, Hiren to continue. It's a swing and a miss from Sachin, but the ball keeping high. And a little bit of a hesitation, but eventually they do scamper across for a bye. That will keep the scoreboard ticking. That brings Rajkumar on strike, who will be facing his first ball. And Hiren to continue. That's a good shot. It's in the air. And that's a lovely catch. That's a brilliant catch. So the Blazing Strikers draw first blood in the first over itself. And that is the perfect way to get your side back into the game when you're defending a low total. And that's a very, very good catch from the fielder at long off in the deep. Rajkumar has to go for a first ball duck. The Blazing Strikers draw first blood. He thought he got enough, but that was a good running catch from the fielder at long off there. And good safe hands there at the deep. And the fielding side rightly acknowledging his contribution. That is a crucial wicket if they have to make and they have to give a decent go of defending this target. They will need early wickets, and they have got one. The Golden Stallions 2 for 1. Gaurav is the new batsman who's walking out to the middle. It's a good confident stroke there from Gaurav first up. Although it doesn't fetch a run, The fact that he got behind the ball and played it with the middle of the bat will give him a bit of confidence as they look to chase down this total of 120. Hiren to bowl to Gaurav. That's another good looking stroke, but the close-in fielders have been placed in such a way that getting a single is a very difficult proposition. So this has been a very, very good start from the bowling point of view. It's a good start. That you conceded 2 runs and taken a wicket as well. And when you are defending small totals, I think it is very, very imperative that your start with the ball is a good one. And it has been good so far. They will be hoping that the last ball is of the same ilk, as here comes Hiren to Gaurav. And yes, it is another dot ball. So this is a very, very strong start with the ball for the Blazing Strikers as the Golden Stallions get past the first over with the score reading 2 for 1. So Adish will be the bowler who will continue from the other end. The opening partner, second new ball bowler that is, and Sachin will face Adish for this over. Adish, so left arm bowling around over the wicket. Here comes Adish. Oh, that ball kept low. Sachin was shaping to play the cut, but that ball kept low. And that will definitely get the batter guessing. The pitch has been playing tricks. The pitch has been uneven so far. There have been a couple of balls that have kept low, and there have been balls that have risen up as well. So the batsman will have to be mindful, and there will definitely be question marks in the minds and the psyche of the batsman as to which one will stay low and which one will rise. So the pitch playing its own set of tricks as well, as Adish comes in to bowl his second delivery of the over. Sachin in readiness. It's a good ball once again. This time, once again, there's a little bit more bounce compared to the previous delivery. Once again shaping to play that cut shot square of the wicket on the offside, but was unable to get any bat on it. So that's 2 dot balls in a row. So far, it has been a good start with the ball for the Blazing Strikers. And while there is still not a lot of causes to worry for the Golden Stallions at the moment, a couple of boundaries here and there will definitely help their cause in overhauling this total. Here's Adish. He's taken the aerial route that is in the air. And has he pulled that back? Has he pulled that back is the question. I think he has. That is a brilliant fielding effort. He's definitely saved 2 runs for his side there. That was in the air for a very, very, very long time. And that ball was stopped just on the edge of the boundary. That is a very good fielding effort. And when you're chasing a small total, fielding efforts like this are really, really crucial, as it helps to raise the morale and continue to apply pressure on the batting side. Here is Adish bowling to Sachin. Ooh, swings and misses, and that was really, really close to that off stump. As you can see from the expressions of Adish, he knew that that was very, very close. So it's good. It is good bowling from both the opening bowlers of the blazing strikers. Adish has conceded just 2 of his 4. So good amount of pressure early on by the bowling side on the Golden Stallions. Here is Adish, all set to bowl the 5th delivery of this over. Sachin to face him. Plays that well, but there is protection there in the close-in on the offside. So another dot ball. So this is another good start to the over. This is another good over, and just 2 runs conceded. And they will want to finish this over on a high. They will want to avoid conceding a boundary of this delivery so that the pressure is on that batting side. Here is Adish. Oh, that's another good over. So that's the end of the 2nd over, and the Golden Stallions 4 for the loss of a wicket. So here is Hiren to continue after bowling a very, very good first over that he conceded just 1 run and taken a wicket as well. It will be Gaurav who will be facing Hiren for this particular over. The keeper standing up, not allowing the batter to stand outside his crease to counter that movement. Here is Hiren to Gaurav. And he's taken the aerial route. And he's missed it completely. That should have been taken. He missed the trajectory of the ball completely, partly down to the lines in his eye of vision. But that was a perfect setup there. Slow ball. He goes into that shot a little too early. Does not get the distance. It was there for the taking, but he was unable to judge it. And that is a chance gone a-begging. Eventually settled for a single there. That brings Sachin on strike. Hiren will consider himself unlucky that he didn't get a 2nd wicket there. Oh, that is sweetly timed on the contrary. And that is 6. That was hit so sweetly that you knew from the moment it hit the bat that was going one way and that was going all the way. So the first boundary for the Golden Stallions in the slot was there, as you can see here. It was in the slot, picks it beautifully, free swing of the bat, and that ball was travelling the moment it hit the bat, all the way for 6. Here is Hiren bowling to Sachin. Ooh, was trying to go for that expansive drive on the offside, but was not able to get any connection on that. Will probably be kicking himself that he wasn't able to get any bat on it. Hiren to continue to Sachin. He's played that well, but there is protection there, so no run. 7 runs coming off this over. 2 more balls to go. Another boundary would make sure that the chase is a little bit more on the comfortable side of the spectrum for the Golden Stallions. And that's a good shot. Has he found the gap? No, there is a fielder there at deep mid-wicket. Will settle for a single. So 8 runs coming off this over. 1 more ball to go. And Gaurav will take strike for the final ball of the 3rd over. Despite conceding the boundary, it has been a decent over, giving away just 2 runs of the other 4 deliveries. So he will be looking to finish it on the same note. Gaurav is taken the aerial route, but there is a fielder there at long on, so just a single. So 9 runs coming off this over. At the end of the 3rd over, the Golden Stallions are 13 for the loss of a wicket. Here is Adish to continue with his 2nd over. Conceded just 2 runs off his 1st over as well. He will be bowling to Gaurav, who is now standing a little ahead of the crease. It's a good ball, full in the block hole. Plays it out to that fielder in the 30-yard circle. No run given. There it is, right in the block hole. The perfect yorker that he could execute. Adish to continue. And with Gaurav still standing outside, this time well outside his crease. Oh, that's a good ball. That is good ball. That shaped in. That cramped him for room completely. Late movement here under the lights. There. Comes in sharply. Jags back. So the Golden Stallions currently 13 for the loss of a wicket, chasing 120. They need 107 more to win with 9 wickets in hand. Just above 16 overs left to chase down that total. Here is Adish. Good ball, continuing to build the pressure here. 3 straight dot balls. And that is what a bowling side needs the most. It is a small total. They know they do not have a lot of runs to play with. So a dot ball here, a good fielding effort there, stopping the runs. These are all very small things. But if you collaborate all of them, if you accumulate all of these together, it will definitely go a long way in having a monumental say in the outcome of the contest. And so far, the bowling have been holding their end of the bargain with, oh, that's another good ball, another ball that had late movement. They do get a single this time around, but this is really, really good bowling. He's getting that ball to talk. There is late movement off the surface. It's jagging back in sharply. And Gaurav has had a little bit of difficulty in those 2 instances. He wasn't able to get bat in the first instance. He just about manages to get a feather this time around for a single. So Adish to continue. He's bowled another good over, backing it up with his previous over where he gave away just 2 runs. And that brings Sachin on strike, who's currently on 9 of 12, whereas Gaurav is on 3 of 9. Here is Adish bowling to Sachin. Oh, he is picked that nicely, but that's again another good fielding effort. He has stopped a certain boundary there because that was travelling fast. He played that shot really well, connected it as sweetly as he could at that instance, but that is once again a good fielding effort there. He stopped a certain boundary, saved 3 runs for his side there. And once again, that goes a long way when you're defending a small total. Increases the morale of the fielder, lifts the spirits of the players around him, galvanizes the team as a whole. Fielding efforts like this do not go waste. And here is Gaurav. There's a little bit of a delay here. Gaurav seems to be finally ready to take strike. Here is Adish running in. And he picks the aerial route. There is a fielder who collects it on the bounce. Another single. So this is once again a pretty good over. Just 3 singles conceded of it. 4 overs gone. The Golden Stallions 16 for 1. So it is Hiren who will continue. He will be bowling his 3rd over in this power play. We have 4 overs in. Just 2 more overs until the field restrictions are lifted. And with the scoreboard currently going on, moving at a trickle, I think this is the 2 overs that they will be looking to take full toll of and score as many runs as possible. They're currently going at a run rate of just 4 runs an over, with the asking rate at 6.5. Still not a cause for concern, the required run rate. Entirely manageable this, nothing that a couple of boundaries can alter. Here is Hiren bowling to Gaurav. Trying to play that gentle dab down third man, but misses again. Case of the ball keeping just a tad low. Both Hiren and Adish have bowled extremely well in tandem. Just conceded a single boundary and we are into the 5th over. Here is Hiren once again. A forward defensive shot. No single. So it's another dot ball. I think for the bowling side here, as the Golden Stallions showed the way with the ball, they've set a template. It is always to pick your lines and lengths correctly and stick to them. And that is exactly what they're doing so far. And that's, he was trying to manufacture a shot there, but gets it completely wrong. And again, that's another dot ball here. So 3 dot balls in a row. Like I was saying, the Blazing Strikers have been spot on with their lengths and their execution so far. They have not strayed either too wide. They have not strayed down the legs. They have not bowled it in the slot for the batsman to capitalize. So all in all, this has been a pretty disciplined bowling performance so far. I say so far because there is still a long way to go in this match. And because the margin of error defending a low total is so low, one big over could pretty much alter the outcome of this game. There it is. He takes the aerial route. And that has found the boundary. That has gone for 4. Like I said, it is such a low margin for error here. And just when I was talking about how disciplined Hiren has been, he errs a little, bowls it a little wide, allows the batter to free his arms, and the batsman takes the aerial route, and that shot finds that boundary there. So 4 welcome runs for the Golden Stallions. Here comes Hiren bowling to Gaurav. Swings and misses. So it's a decent over still. 4 dot balls apart from the boundary. So overall it has been a good over if you consider the grander scheme of things. Unless the Golden Strikers find a boundary in the last ball of this over. Here comes Hiren to bowl to Gaurav. Hits it down the ground, but there is protection there at long on, so just a single. So 5 runs conceded of this over. It's the end of the 5th over. The Golden Stallions 21 for 1. So the Blazing Strikers make their first bowling change of the match. Dhiren is the bowler at first change. He'll be bowling right arm over the wicket. And it will be Gaurav who will be facing him. Keep in mind, this is the last over of the power play. 6 balls for the batsman to capitalize on the field restrictions. How many runs can they get off this over? Here comes Dhiren. Oh, that ball kept low. That ball kept really low. No run off it as well. There is Gaurav facing Dhiren. And once again, a defensive stroke, but still not able to get that single. So this is a good start from Dhiren as first change. 2 dot balls in a row. It has been a good disciplined bowling performance so far. They have managed to keep the scoring under control. They've not given away too many boundaries in the power play. That is definitely 1 point in their favour. As here comes Dhiren. And that is well wide. But that is well gathered by the keeper. Was going a bit wide. The keeper dives to full extension. Avoids any further damage. The last thing you need while defending a small total is extras. While wide in itself is alright. But if it goes for 4, that's 5 runs added to the total and gives you an extra ball to play. That's a good shot. That's it. He's taken the aerial route. Has he got enough? Oh, he's missed it. They get 2 runs for it. But that was another opportunity gone a begging. So Gaurav gets a lifeline. And the Blazing Strikers will be scratching their heads a little. They could have had another. But that stayed in the air for far too long. Misjudges the trajectory of the ball and eventually ends up grasping the opportunity. So Gaurav to continue to be on strike. And here is Dhiren. Oh, that was gently played, but not enough power generated in that shot. He's trying to be cheeky, trying to go for that paddle over the fielder at fine leg, but does not get any run for it because the shot did not have enough power, neither the legs to beat that fielder. So 2 balls left in the power play and its conclusion. It has been a good bowling performance by Dhiren so far as he comes in. That's a good ball and that's an appeal for stumping. Not out, says the umpire. Instead, he's given it as a wide. Everything happening here. And he lures the batsman out of his crease. And that is good reflexes by the batsman. Brings his foot back inside the crease just in the nick of time. It was equally good work by the keeper. But that is given as a wide and Dhiren will have to bowl that one again. Here comes Dhiren to Gaurav. Swings and misses. So Dhiren doing the right. Oh, that's given a wide. So benefit of the doubt goes to the umpire there. That is a very, very close decision. And it's eventually been given a wide. Here is Dhiren. Bowl 3 wides now. He bowls a much better line there. Bowling at the stumps. Keeps it in the line of the stumps. And Gaurav is still edgy out there. He's looking to get the runs. He's looking to tick the scoreboard. He's looking to rotate the strike. But he hasn't been able to do that so far. Bar that shot that he hit that got him 2 runs. He's not been able to rotate that strike enough. He's played all the 5 balls. He's played, just got 2 runs out of it. And it is the wides that have been saving grace in this over so far. Still no boundary. Last ball of the power play. Here is Dhiren to Gaurav. And that is just a single again. So it's the end of the power play. We're 6 overs into the run chase. And the Golden Stallions are 27 for 1. Rahul is the new bowling change, the new bowler into the attack. And now we have completed the 6 overs of the power play. And the field is now being spread. We have a long on, a long off, field at deep cover. Here is Gaurav. That's been given as a wide. You'll have to bowl that one again. Here is Rahul bowling to Gaurav. Ooh, that's a good ball. keeping it in line of the stumps. They do scamper across for a single. As you can see, there is a little bit of, oh, that's straightened. Cramped him and squared him up. But they get across for a single. And it's Sachin who will now take strike after a considerable amount of time watching from the non-striker's end. So he will take a couple of balls to get into his stride after being out of action for a while on the non-striker's end. Here is Rahul. In fact, it doesn't take for him enough time for him. He does get ball on bat on ball, I beg your pardon, and will settle for a single. So 30 for 1 the score now. 2 balls into the 7th over. Here is Rahul, who does take the aerial route, tries to give the charge. Oh, a little bit of a slip-rooney there from Rahul. Eventually scampers across for a leg by there. Look, he gives the charge, but that ball is going down the leg, so it hits him on the pad. But because he was too far down the crease, he eventually settles for a single, which is given as a leg by. So Sachin to face Rahul. Oh, he was looking for that big shot on the leg side. Was not able to get the connection at all. So this is continuing to be an impressive bowling performance here from the Blazing Strikers, given that they're defending such a low total. Here is Rahul to Sachin. Oh, that's picked nicely. He's found the gap. Has he? That's well fielded. They come across for 2. That is once again well fielded there by the fielder and the deep. Not allowing the ball to go to the boundary. Sachin thought that he had found the gap to perfection, but that fielder there had other ideas at deep extra cover. The batting side still going at a run rate of under 5. And here is Rahul bowling to Sachin. That's been given as a wide. Wide of the tram line, says the umpire. Rahul not happy with that for some reason, but it did look to be a wide, in all honesty. Here is Rahul to Sachin. It's another good looking shot. They do come back for another easy 2. So it's the end of the 7th over. 36 for 1 after 7, the Golden Stallions. The Blazing Strikers make another bowling change. It is Siddharth who comes into the bowling attack. The Golden Stallions still there in the game at 36 for 1, needing 84 more to win in 13 overs. The required run rate at 6.46. The positive advantage here for the Golden Stallions is that they have 9 wickets in the hut. And the required run rate is an entirely manageable one. So they do not have the risk to go for the big shot just yet. Here is Siddharth. It's a good ball. Quick single there. Quick single taken. That brings Sachin on strike. Oh, he's hit that nicely. Oh, that's well fielded as well. That is brilliant fielding. He's once again saved 3 runs for his side. Excellent fielding effort that. Keeps that down to just a single. That is the fielding effort that his side will be looking for. Great effort down there at the deep. Sachin hit that hard. Sachin struck that sweetly. He was expecting a boundary for all money. But that was not the case. So once again, the Blazing Strikers putting a little bit of pressure on the batting side here. Oh, he's picked that nicely. He's picked that well. Does it have enough to go to the boundary? No, it doesn't. They will eventually come back for 2 though. That was a good shot. That was a cheeky shot there from Gaurav. Playing the paddle sweep and playing it well, but just did not have the legs to go to the boundary. But however, now they're being able to tick along nicely and rotate the strike and keep that scoreboard moving. They've not let dot balls in this. So the scoreboard is moving and it is moving at a sedate pace. However, it is still entirely manageable as far as the required run rate is concerned. Here is Gaurav to face Siddharth. Oh, and this time he's gone. This middle stump goes out of the ground and Siddharth gets a wicket. The Golden Stallions lose their second. It's 40 for 2 and Gaurav has to depart. Gaurav was once again looking to play, shaping up to play that paddle sweep. The ball was way too straight for that and the stumps are a mess. It's going down and Siddharth is getting timber. That's 40 for 2. And I think, is that... We're 2 balls away from the 8th over. And the Golden Stallions currently 40 for 2. New batsman walking out to the middle. He will be taking strike. Rahul is the new batsman walking in at number 4 for the Golden Stallions. Siddharth to continue. He's just given away 4 runs in this over so far and has taken a wicket as well. So all in all, this is a good over for the Blazing Strikers. Rahul taking guard to face Siddharth. There's a good confident forward stride as he plays that shot. No run. So that is another dot ball here. Last ball of the 8th over. Golden Stallions chasing 120 are 40 for the loss of 2 wickets. Here is Siddharth bowling to Rahul. Ooh, huge appeal. But I think there is definitely bat involved there. So Rahul gets off the mark and will get 2 runs. So it's the end of the 8th over. And the Jbcn Golden Stallions 42 for 2. And another bowling change. Davendra, the new bowler, into the attack. Sachin to take strike. .78 required of 12 overs for the Golden Stallions. Davendra all in readiness to bowl his first ball. Here is Sachin. Oh, that's edged. And that's gone fine. And that's gone for 4. That will release the shackles a little bit for the Golden Stallions. It was a good ball. Nothing wrong with the delivery there. Good delivery to bowl first up. Near that 4th stump line. Induces the edge. Rather unlucky there to see that go to the boundary for 4. But that is the nature of the game. You're not rewarded for some of the good deliveries that you bowl. You have to take that one on the chin and move on. Here is Davendra once again. Sachin on strike. That's a good shot. And that's back-to-back boundaries now for the Golden Stallions. They are making a move on. 50 of the team total comes up with that boundary. It's a nicely timed shot here. Just a little bit of width offered by Davendra. And pounced. Played it really nicely. Good use of the wrists. And that has gone racing away to the boundary for 4. Here is Davendra. And this is straight up in the air. And that's taken. So after back-to-back boundaries, it is Davendra indeed who has the last laugh. And that is the 3rd wicket to fall. And it is the well-set Sachin who has to depart. The Golden Stallions, 50 for 3. As you can see, the ball was there to be hit. It was right in the slot. There. He picked it nicely. He got the elevation, but not the distance that he was looking for. And that's a comfortable catch for that fielder there at long on. And that is the third wicket to fall. 50 for 3. The new batsman out in the middle is Prakash. Here is Davendra, who will bowl to the new batsman Prakash out there. Prakash, all in readiness to face his first ball. And here is Davendra. Oh, that is a good ball. Jagging just a little bit in, and that's a close call. A little bit of a yes and no between the two batsmen. Prakash eventually sent back, who's looking to get off the mark straight away. But he timed that a little too well. There was definitely no single there on offer. Was rightly sent back by his partner at the non-striker's end. Here comes Davendra to Prakash once again. Oh, that's a good ball. That is raised. That has risen out of nowhere. Uneven bounce. So after conceding 2 boundaries in his first 2 deliveries, Davendra has come back very strongly with a wicket and 2 dot balls. So balance has been restored to this contest. 70 runs required for the Golden Stallions. 7 wickets required for the Blazing Strikers. Which way will this contest go? As Davendra comes in for the final ball of his first over, and that's a good ball and a tentative forward push. It's the end of the 9th over. It is 50 for 3. It is Siddharth who comes back into the attack. Bowled a very good first over, conceded just 6 runs and got a wicket as well. Here is Siddharth bowling to Rahul. Oh, it's Prakash. Oh, yeah, it was Rahul. He's taken the toe. Hits the pad. Oh, a little bit of yes or no. That's a huge appeal for run out. And that is given. That was absolutely chaotic there. Absolutely no communication between the two batsmen. And that means that they will have to go. And that is the 4th wicket down for the Golden Stallions. 51 for 4. Here, if you have a look at that, there was absolutely no 2 runs in there. Well thrown by the keeper towards the keeper as well. And that was good work by the keeper there. Had to stretch a little, but he eventually gets the job done. The Golden Stallions losing their way a bit now. 51 for 4. And it's time for drinks. Yeah, the players are now hydrated, and Rajneesh is the new batter out there in the middle. It's a good forward push there, and he gets off the mark instantly, does Rajneesh. Prakash on strike. That is well wide, but a good gather there from the keeper. The keeping has been really good so far. The Jbcn Golden Stallions are 54 for 4, chasing 120. Siddharth bowling to Prakash. Swings and misses. Huge appeal for caught behind, but nothing doing, says the umpire. It's another dot ball. Pressure slowly and steadily building up on the Golden Stallions as they look to chase this total. They're already 4 wickets down. The blazing strikers well and truly back into this contest now. It's a good ball. Played it well there, did Prakash. Just a single. Two balls left until we reach the midway point of the second innings. The Golden Stallions at 55 for 4. Here is Siddharth. It's once again given as a wide, so he will have to bowl that one again. Siddharth to continue. Rajneesh on strike. Plays that well off his pads. Puts it just in that gap and will get a single for that. So that will bring Prakash on strike. So Siddharth has bowled a decent over up until now. Last. It's well bowled. Another good Yorker. Well dug in. And that is a single. Siddharth to Rajneesh. Gives him the charge. But the ball was too full. So they will come across for a single. So halfway through the second innings of this match. And the Jbcn Golden Stallions are 59 for 4. They need 61 to win of the final 10 overs with an asking rate of 6.1. Just over a run a ball needed to win for the Golden Stallions. Adish to continue. He will bowl his third over. Will Adish? And it is Rajneesh, the batter, who is on strike. Adish bowling to Rajneesh. Adish to continue. Well left, that's a wide. Here is Adish. Bowling to Rajneesh. It's a good shot forward defense. It's another dot ball though. Rajneesh facing Adish. Oh, was going for the big shot there was Rajneesh. But that natural angle of the left-hander taking it just a bit away from the right-hander. So here is Adish once again bowling to Rajneesh. And Adish has bowled a decent over so far. 3 dot balls and a wide. So here comes Adish. Once again, a swing and a miss from Rajneesh. He's looking to go full power. Is Rajneesh. Missed it this time as well. .60 required of 57. Here comes Adish. Picks this one. Back of the hand, slower delivery there from Adish. Rajneesh runs across for a single. Bring Prakash on strike. Prakash to face Adish now. Just a single conceded of 5 deliveries and a wide to go as well. Plays that well, does Prakash. And that is racing away to the boundary. A much needed boundary this for the Golden Stallions. That was a nice looking shot from Prakash. He played it late and he played it fine. Found that gap to perfection. And that raced away to the boundary. So at the end of the 11 over mark, the Jbcn Golden Stallions are 65 for 4. "55 runs more required in 9 overs for the Golden Stallions to emerge victorious in this run chase. Rajneesh is the batsman on strike. In the previous over, he attempted a couple of big shots, but he wasn't able to get the connection right. He will be hoping that this time things go in his favour and the risks that he takes will finally pay off as they look to chase down this total. And it is Dhiren who will continue to bowl his second over. Can Rajneesh conjure up a couple of big shots in this over? It'll be very interesting to see what Rajneesh will have in his mind. Dhiren marking his run up as... Here it is, Dhiren marking his run up as I think he seemed to not have found it. So now that Dhiren has marked his run up, we are all in readiness. Here is Rajneesh. Oh, that's a sent back there. Rajneesh doing the right thing and sending his partner back. And that is a no ball. Dhiren has overstepped, which means that this is the ball that Rajneesh was looking for. That is a free hit. So that means Rajneesh gets a free swing. And is this the ball that could change Rajneesh's fortunes? Here comes the free hit delivery. Plays it nicely, but no run of it. So a dot ball of the free hit. Here is Rajneesh once again. Oh, swings and misses. It's a huge appeal for caught behind. The keeper was already off in celebration, but the umpire thought otherwise. Let's have a look at that. I don't think there was any edge there. The keeper was very, very interested in that. He thought that he heard a sound, but the umpires thought otherwise. And on the face of it, that looks like a good decision by the umpire. Here is Dhiren to Rajneesh once again. It's a huge appeal for LBW, but it was drifting down leg side. That is a leg bye. "67 for 4, the Golden Stallions. 53 runs required of 51 deliveries. And Prakash, the batsman, on strike. He's currently batting on 6 of 7. Rajneesh, on the other hand, is batting on 4 of 12. Here is Dhiren to Prakash. Plays it well, but no run there. Dhiren to continue. Prakash, the batsman, on strike. Oh, was looking for that cheeky run out there, was the keeper. But Prakash had the presence of mind to put his bat in almost immediately. Still a dot ball though. Despite a no ball in the first delivery of the over, he's just conceded another, only one run after that. So it's an excellent over from Dhiren as things stand. 67 for 4. Here is Dhiren bowling to Prakash. Turns it behind square on the leg side for a quick single there. So it's the end of 12 overs. The Golden Stallions, 68 for 4. Davendra to continue proceedings. Went for 8 in his first over, but chipped in with a wicket as well. Prakash will be on strike by virtue of taking a single of that last ball in the previous over. 52 runs required of 48 deliveries for the Golden Stallions. Prakash to take strike, and Davendra, the bowler, all in readiness. Here he comes. It's been given as a wide. Davendra to Prakash. It's a good looking shot there from Prakash. But will only they're coming back for 2 here. That is good running between the wickets from the Golden Stallion batsman there. Prakash and Rajneesh. Good judgment there. Rajneesh with the call to take the 2 and eventually makes it rather comfortably. So 49 required of 47. Still neck and neck. The strikers will believe that they are still in this contest. A couple of wickets here and they're right back in it. The Golden Stallions. It's a good ball. He's looking for that quick single. But he's rightly sent back by Rajneesh. There was no single there. Prakash was very eager to get off strike in that particular instance. But he was rightly sent back by his partner. The last thing that the side needs while chasing a target is a run out. And here is Davendra once again to Prakash. That's a good shot. Has he found the gap? Yes, he has. That's a beautiful stroke from Prakash. That will certainly ease the pressure a bit on the Golden Stallions. They find the boundary that they were after. Good shot once again by Prakash. There you are. Plays it rather late. Lovely use of the wrists once again. And expertly finds that gap. The fielder there at third man does give chase, but the ball wins the race in the end. So 75 for 4 now. The equation now at exactly a run a ball. 45 runs required of 45 deliveries. That boundary has made things and made life for the Golden Stallions much more simpler. Here is Davendra. Picked his spot nicely once again, and that's another boundary. So back-to-back boundaries, and that has once again put a nice cushion and a nice layer of comfort there for the Golden Stallions. This was a good ball, a little full, a little straight, flicked nicely off the pads, and he finds the gap to perfection. 4 more. 79 for 4 now, the Golden Stallions. 41 required of 44. That's another good looking shot. And that is 3 boundaries in a row. So Prakash turning on the heat here at the Fatima grounds. 3 straight boundaries. It's another beautiful shot. Taking the aerial route over the fielder at cover. No protection there in the deep. Easy, easy pickings. Now you can see the pressure is well and truly off the Golden Stallions. Up until that point, they were a little behind, but now they are right and truly ahead in this contest with those 3 boundaries. And is that... Oh, that's a misfield! And that is another boundary. So that's 4 boundaries in a row. A flurry of boundaries by Prakash, I beg your pardon. And this game has completely swung in a matter of 4 deliveries. 4 consecutive boundaries. This should have been stopped by the fielder there at shot fine. Went right through him. And that is 4 more. So after the end of 13 overs, the Golden Stallions are 87 for 4. Those 4 boundaries in a row have massively alleviated the pressure of the Golden Stallions, who up until that point were looking like they were a little bit behind of the 8 ball. But those 4 boundaries by Prakash have made a huge difference, and suddenly now the Golden Stallions find themselves in the driver's seat, needing just 33 of 42 deliveries. But still, this game is not over. And here comes Adish to bowl out. That's a good-looking stroke from Rajneesh, but no run. Oh, that was an absolute harakiri there from Prakash. Did not understand why he rushed in for a single there. There was no run on offer because that shot was timed rather nicely from Rajneesh. A direct hit would have made things interesting. A quicker throw also. Adish to bowl out. He's been very good. 11 runs for no wicket. He's into his final over. Rajneesh on strike. Oh, he's picked that nicely. Has he found the gap? No, he hasn't. Oh, he will get 2 runs for that though. So a couple of runs added to the total. And Rajneesh gets a move on with his score as well. He moves on to 6 of 14. The Golden Stallions, 89 for 4. Rajneesh once again probably will be looking for one big shot to just, ease his nerves a bit as well, because he's been trying to get that big shot for a while, but he hasn't been able to connect. Probably one good shot away from finding his rhythm here is Rajneesh. And he picks that nicely. Will get a single, only a single. The score moves on to 90 now. So 30 needed of 39 deliveries. The run rate now well and truly under control. The asking rate just at 4.62. Meanwhile, the Golden Stallions are going at 6.67. So well in control now as far as the required run rate is concerned. Here is Adish bowling to Prakash this time. Oh, he's taken the aerial route. Has he got it? Lands safely. Only a single. That will once again bring Rajneesh on strike. Rajneesh, what is going through in his mind? What will he do this delivery? Gives the charge. That's a good looking stroke. That is well fielded there at the deep. Will only get a single. The target now below 30. 28 runs needed of 37 deliveries. Here is Adish bowling to Prakash. Oh, that is easy. That is well picked. But only a single once again. So these are good strokes that are not going to the boundary. And that is the end of the 14th over. The Golden Stallions, 93 for 4. And a bowling change now. Rahul, the new bowler, back into the attack. Rahul is the new bowler for the Blazing Strikers. Prakash is the batsman on strike. Here is Rahul. Lets that go. But that was within the tram line, so that will not be called a wide. (27) needed of 35. Here is Rahul. Oh, he's picked that one nicely. He's picked that one beautifully, in fact. Has that gone all the way? We're waiting for the umpire signal, and that is given a boundary. So that's 4 more. So Prakash turning on the style here. That's a beautiful shot. Rahul bowling it. 2 easy pickings there for Prakash. Swivels, connects, and that is gone to the boundary for 4. Rahul to continue. It's a dot ball. 98 for 4, the Golden Stallions. And that single brings Rajneesh on strike. Rajneesh has struggled for fluency throughout his innings, but we all know that he is one shot away from finding his bearings here. Rahul to continue to Rajneesh. Hits it to long on for a single. $90. 99 for 4. Prakash back on strike. He's picked that one nicely. And that is well fielded in the deep for a single. The 100 comes up for the Golden Stallions. 100 for 4. 5 balls into the 15th over. 20 runs required of 31. Here is Rahul. Oh, swing and miss for Rajneesh. And that is the end of the 15th over. The Golden Stallions, 100 for 4. And another bowling change here. Pratik is the new bowler who's introduced into the attack. Prakash is the batsman on strike, and he is the informed batsman. He's on 33 of 22. Last 5 overs of the contest to go. 20 runs required for the Golden Stallions. 6 wickets required for the Blazing Strikers. At this point, it looks like the Golden Stallions are the favourites. But never say never. Here is Pratik. Oh, that's well fielded there at by the fielder at point. Starts off with a dot ball as Pratik. Here is Pratik once again. Once again, another dot ball. Luring the batsman to come away. Cut shot this time. The ball came low as well. Pratik once again to Prakash. This time he's played it fine. And the ball will win the race. And that will go for 4. That is smart batting here from Prakash. He plays it fine on purpose. He knows that the fielder at third man is inside the circle. So all he had to do was beat that fielder. And he plays it with hands. Nicely played there. And that was too quick for the fielder. And the ball winning the race with ease. So 16 runs required now. Prakash on strike. Sweeps. Sweeps well. And that's another boundary. So the target now just 12 runs away. Premeditated shot this. Played very well. As you can see, he's already got down. Picks the sweep to perfection. And finds the gap with surgeon-like precision. 108 for 4. Back-to-back boundaries. Here is Prateek once again. Plays it once again, and this time it's found the fielder, so no run there. 12 runs to win. Again, he's played that rather well. He's played that cut shot rather well throughout the course of his innings, has Prakash. Here is Prateek, bowling to Prakash. He's played that with soft hands to the bowler, no run. So it's the end of the 16th over. The Stallions, 108 for 4. 12 runs required of 24 deliveries. The target for the Stallions just 2 hits away, and Rajneesh is the batsman on strike. He will probably look to finish the game off in this over itself, as Rahul to continue bowling from his end. Rajneesh, the batsman on strike. He has looked iffy, he has looked edgy, but again, with the power and the hitting that Rajneesh provides, I think this could probably be the over that Rajneesh seals the victory for his side. Let's have a look. Rahul to Rajneesh. Picks it nicely. Will only have to settle for a single though. 11 runs needed now for the Golden Stallions. Prakash is on 41, so he needs 9 for his 50. The Stallions lead 11 to win. It could be a win-win situation for both. Failed to connect that, so gets a single. So 10 runs required now, and 8 runs required for Prakash to reach his half century. Rajneesh on strike. Here is Rahul. Rajneesh picks it well. Will again get a single. So that once again brings Prakash on strike, who is on 42. 9 runs needed for the Stallions. Here is Prakash. Rahul, right arm over the wicket. And here he is. Prakash plays it down to long on for a single. So 4 singles of the 4 balls. 43 now to Prakash. 7 away from 50. The Stallions 8 away from victory. Here is Rajneesh facing Rahul. Here he comes. Rajneesh plays that over the bowler's head for a single. So 7 needed now for the Stallions. And 7 also needed for Prakash to reach his well-deserved half century. So Prakash takes a single and keeps strike for the start of the next over. 17 overs gone. The Golden Stallions just one hit away, 114 for 4. So here's the equation, a very interesting equation here. The Stallions just one hit away, 6 needed to win. Prakash, he is batting on 44 and he also requires one hit to get to his half century. So provided if Prakash gets a 6 here, that's 2 birds in 1 stone. Not only his side gets the win, he himself will get to what is a very well-deserved half century. And it is Pratik who will be bowling this over. Here is Prakash. He goes for that big shot. He will get 4 though. Pierces the gap between the 2 fielders in the deep. It's a lovely sweep shot. So now just 2 runs required for the victory. And 2 runs required for his half century as well. Picks it beautifully between the gap. The fielder at deep square leg and deep fine. Just 2 runs away. Here is Pratik bowling to Prakash, who is on 48 at the moment. And that is the winning runs. That is 50 for Prakash as well. But on the grander side, it is a very, very well-earned victory for the Golden Stallions. Jbcn Golden Stallions win this contest by 6 wickets. A superlative batting performance there by Prakash and Rajneesh giving him good support on the other end. They bowled really well. They batted really well. Overall, it was a very, very commanding and a very, very professional performance by the Jbcn Golden Stallions. As far as the blazing strikers are concerned, they will look at their batting and wonder that they were at least 20 to 25 runs short on this surface that was tricky to bat on, a challenging one. But the Stallions will be very, very happy with their performance. They were good with the bat, they were equally good with the ball, and they have rightly deserved this victory courtesy a very, very well compiled innings of 50 by Prakash, I beg your pardon. So that's it from me. I'm Delvin and I've been your commentator for tonight, this evening, for the Dad's Premier League match between the Jbcn Golden Stallions and the Svkm Blazing Strikers. We will see you with more cricketing action tomorrow. Till then, it's good night. Stay safe, stay healthy.